Hi there everybody, welcome back to another fun and exciting video from Marnold. This is for my GLE class and the lesson regarding myBlueprint and using the financial planner. So if you are not on myBlueprint as of yet, remember to go to ugcloud.ca and you can find the link for myBlueprint there. If we're having another strange login issue, come and see Marnold and I can change your password around and you can get in directly through the myBlueprint website. But for now, if you click on myBlueprint, it will open up the myBlueprint homepage. Your myBlueprint homepage will look like this. Mine looks a bit different, but I've switched to the student view to help you out. So yesterday you explored some occupations. You used your occupation planner to pick at least one favorite occupation. Now what we are going to do today is look at the real costs of going after something like that occupation. So I know some of you found the cost of things like tuition and food and car payments, but what we're going to do is we're going to look at that in quite a bit more detail. And myBlueprint is great because it offers you all of those categories already and gives you an idea of how much it's going to cost you, how much you're going to need to save, and so on. If I click on Financial Planner, it's going to allow me now to begin a budget. So this is my home. This is where my budgets are. I have two options here. I have the budget overview, which shows all of my budgets, and I also have, which is what I'm in right now, and then I also have the My Budgets screen. And I want you to click on My Budgets because it's here that you're going to have to create a budget. And what you can do is when you create a budget, because you probably won't have any budgets here, click on that and you can call this, say I'll call it plumber, because that I know is one of my careers that I looked at, and I'm going to connect this to plumber at the College of the North Atlantic here. There's a bunch of other ones, steam fitter, pipe fitter, but what I'm going to do is click plumber, and that way it will work in some of the totals already, so you don't have to go back to the page where it talks about the schooling and find that information. So if I click create budget, this is where you start to enter certain items. So for here, if you have a job right now, you can think about how much you'd be able to save. Now, if you're planning to have a job at the time, you can click on work income here. So this is an average amount of money per hour that you will earn at a job. So you can see in Ontario it's the lowest out of any of the provinces, and you could say it's close to, say, $13.50 an hour. So if you were planning on having a job or you know how much your job gives you, you can enter an amount here. So monthly, if you know the monthly amount there, it also gives you the option to put annually. So if you know how much you made off your tax return last year, you can enter that. If you know how much your family has, say, in an RESP or a registered education savings plan, you can put it in here. And if you know you have any savings put away, or say your grandparents have been putting away for you since you were younger, you could put that in there. And of course, scholarships are here. Now, expenses is the one that's going to have a lot of detail added to it. And this we will go over as a class, but I'll show you how to do it here. So, I know that tuition fees, if I go into the post-secondary planner, I can compare the tuition fees for my plumber position. But here they've actually got a suggested amount for me, and you can see for a plumber it's actually quite low. For those looking at university, it was probably about $6,000 to $7,000, whereas for a plumber you have for 9 months of the year about $1,600. So what I can do is I can add that in. So 1,652, I now have an amount approximately for tuition. Here we go. So you can also look at this. So in session technical training, you can go on the high end of this, but you do actually get paid as well. So that you can look at adding to your income later, but let's not look at that for now. So let's just say $800 for costs, say that's tools and such, and training materials and so on. So as you can see, as you go through here, you can add these in, and books and materials. You can add in the average cost there, and other educational expenses here. Living is an important one because they have some average cost of housing. If you're going to live away from your home, you have an average cost down here. You've got a per month amount here, and this is specific, of course, to the city that you'd be living in. You have average cost of food here. See, there's a real difference, but you can multiply this by a certain amount of years. So let's go to select months right now. There we go. So if we know that we're going to be in school September through to May, it will select it for you. And if your average cost is here and you type in 200, it will calculate that for you in your final meal amount. There you go. So it's now up like that. Clothing and laundry, they've got an average cost here, including how much it costs for clothing and laundry, so to buy clothes and such. Transportation, this is a different one. You can calculate if you're going to be driving. CAA has a great calculator here that we open up, and it will allow you to see how much it would be for insurance, what kind of vehicle you have, and so on. It's a great tool for you if you're ever thinking of buying a car. Go on, play around with it today. We have some time. You have to know how much your cell phone costs approximately, and that's here, depending on who you're with, what provider you're with here, and then last, internet and television here. So it really starts to add up after a while. Personal costs, if you really like going out with friends and you dine out a lot, you could add both of these on here and then do that. It will multiply that monthly for you. If you have any other hobbies, think about how much you spend maybe to join a gym per year, how much you spend maybe to upkeep your bicycle and so on. And then travel, this is going back and forth to home. You can look into bus costs. I encourage you to go on to things like the Greyhound bus site and be around. So that's a quick overview of what we're going to do in today's lesson. And it should take you probably about 40 to 50 minutes if you really do an excellent job and really focus on the actual costs of this. If you have any questions, let me know. But until then, thanks for listening.